Hey guys, it's Binary from Tess. I'm going to be going over some Reaver loadouts with you. I'm going to try to highlight what I like to run on my Reaver, what some other good pilots like to run on their Reavers, what's going to keep you in the air the longest. The Reaver is the ESF of the new conglomerate. It's a fucking flying brick, which is both its strength and its weakness. So starting off, you have your Vortec Rotary. Your Vortec Rotary is going to be your primary anti-air weapon. Everyone who is anyone really uses magazine size on this, as with most ESF nose guns. Obviously, ammo, thermal, or night vision, preferably night vision, simply because it has a farther range and paints targets against the night. For air-to-air combat, if you need the added damage output, I like running Coyote missiles. What that does is allows you to just blindly fire them in a intense one-on-one dogfight without having to worry. If you want everyone else in the air to hate you, you can really run Tomcats with either range or lock-on. Personally, I like lock-on range for farming libs with, since they are now nerfed to all hell. And I have zoom on here, but that's a stupid choice. Night vision for most air stuff, like you should. And then, of course, there's my favorite, the afterburner fuel tanks. They increase the recharge rate of your afterburner, as well as adding total fuel capacity. Now, these are great for pretty much any situation, especially squad play, because they're going to allow you to chase down your targets quicker, more effectively, and keep you in the air longer by allowing you to bug out of situations. Now, here's the real controversial topic. It's going to be either racer or hover. Now, I hate to say that if you win most engagements, you won't need to run away, but that's really what it comes down to. In most squad play, racer isn't going to be something that you want because not everyone is going to run it. Personally, I like hover stability, simply because it allows me to maneuver better and use the thrust of the Reaver, which is its greatest strength and the ability that has the best afterburner of any ESF. So moving on to the nose cannons, the other one you have is the infamous Mustang Airhammer. As you can see, I have an Araxium on it. I fucking love this weapon. It's great for killing enemy ESFs, but its real strength shines in its amazing ability to one-shot most infantry and six-shot enemy max units. Obviously, you run magazine size on this. With the recent buff, it got 2 additional rounds added to its clip, I believe. I really do think that. Thermal optics are a must, as with any kind of anti-infantry nose cannon on an ESF, and you should always max out your ammo capacity, because the Airhammer chews through it very, very quickly. You have your vehicle stealth and your nanite auto and your composite. No one really runs composite. Vehicle stealth is great if you want intense air-to-air action. I see a lot of pilots running vehicle stealth more and more now after the nanite nerf. But I still run nanites because I find that when I'm in the air, I don't like to land and repair, so your nanites are going to repair your damage over time. Your vehicle stealth, as I touched on a little bit, as it says in the description, it blocks enemy lock-ons. That's where its strength shines, but also it's hard to auto-detect. It decreases the range at which you auto-detect, which is phenomenal if you're fighting enemy ESFs because you can run away easy, and if you run out of their field of vision, you can get behind them fairly easy because they won't be able to track you. And if they have engagement radar, which a lot of newer pilots are running these days. I don't recommend running engagement radar. Vehicle stealth easily conquers it. Unless you're a very new pilot and it just teaches you tracking. Don't run ejection system, because as a pilot, the one thing you should not do is bail. Bailing is a dick move. If you get shot down fairly, they should get the kill. If you get ganked by fucking DA in the air, then I guess eject if you want. Personally, I wouldn't do it. And another controversial topic is fire suppression or decoy flares. Now, personally, I run fire suppression because it'll allow me to eat a lock-on, e.g. I can be shot with a lock-on, fire suppression, and I'll be up to the health I was before I took it. However, that doesn't work with multiple lock-ons, and that's where decoy flares come in. Keep in mind that fire suppression is kind of I can use this in any situation, while decoy flares are very specific. If you know you're going to get a lot of lock-ons, decoy flares are the way to go. Scout radar, I don't know why you'd run this on a Reaver. The Mustang has high damage output, but you gotta get really close to it. I don't really want to touch on it because any pilot that I want to have my back, I don't want them running this. Same with the Kestrel. The Kestrel is a great weapon if you don't know how to aim. The Rotary is going to get you shooting down more enemy ESFs and Liberators because it forces you to be better with it. Now with the Reaver, everything is about getting close. The air hammer, you need to be close. The rotary, you need to be close to get that maximum damage output. Everything in the air is about evasion and DPS. If you're looking for pure A to A DPS, you want rotary and coyotes. However, I prefer rotary and afterburner because it allows me to use the maneuverability that the Reaver has in its thrusters. For the Mustang AH, the air hammer, my favorite weapon, it's kind of a jack of all trades in that it's good against pretty much everything except Liberators after the nerf. That's pretty much a rundown of everything the Reaver has to offer. There's bigger rocket pods, but I really don't encourage anyone to use them because they're low pods. If you don't know how to use these, then you probably shouldn't be flying anyways. Um, Tomcats, you probably shouldn't use them. They're kind of addicting to use. And Hornets are okay. You should probably learn how to use these on your own. I would not recommend flying them. They're good in certain situations, but they're awful in others. Um, and that's really it. The Reaver is my favorite ESF out of all three of them. I fly extensively on all my alts, and the Reaver is always the one that I come back to because it's just so much fucking fun to fly. Hope to see you guys in the battlefield.